I'm pissed. I am fucking pissed at the USPS. Almost a month ago, I bought the GameCube version of Resident Evil Code Veronica on eBay. And if you looked up this specific version of this game, you would quickly find out that this is one of the more expensive GameCube games. And on top of that, to make it worse, this is one of the games that required 2 discs to play. A couple of different reasons play into why the GameCube version of this game is so expensive these days. It's not one of the more heavy-hitting Resident Evil titles that were on the GameCube, like, say, the Resident Evil remake or Resident Evil 4. This game debuted on the Dreamcast of all systems. So therefore, the GameCube version of this game sold like dog shit. And now these days, if someone is selling the GameCube version of this game, and you want to buy it, you're likely going to pay at the very least $150 just for the 2 discs. The manual, the pamphlets, and the original box? Fuck. I think you're paying like another $100 if you want those included. And I know what some people may be saying. Why don't you buy this game on the PlayStation Store? It's like $15 on there. Because I am fucking stupid, and if there's a GameCube version of a game, even if it's the most expensive version of said game, I want that version. But I guess the stars aligned for me one day because I found someone on eBay who was selling the discs, and just the 2 discs, not the box and manual included, for $70. And compared to how much the 2 discs usually go for, that was a fucking steal. I don't need the box, the manual, the pamphlets, and all that shit. That's all a nice bonus for me, of course, but not essential. The 2 discs are just fine for me. I got in contact with the seller. They confirmed that both discs work just fine. They even showed me pictures and videos as proof, and I went for it. And within the span of 24 hours, they shipped it out. And I'd say it took like 2 days to get here in New York. It came from Wisconsin. The day it was supposed to be delivered, I was psyched. I was about to have every Resident Evil game that released on the GameCube, because I am both a huge nerd for Resident Evil and the GameCube, as you all probably know at this point. I checked the tracking on eBay, and it said no such number. The package will be delivered back to its sender. I was like, what the fuck? How could this possibly happen? I've had an eBay account for 2 years now, and I've had the same address saved onto it for the same amount of time. This is the first time I've ever had an issue with a package that I ordered on eBay being delivered. So I knew it either had to be a fuck up on USPS's part, or the sender created their own shipping label and fucked up the address. And if the latter is the case, then whatever, fine. Mistakes happen, so long as the package gets back to the original sender, and they correct their mistake, and then they ship it out again, and it delivers just fine, then whatever. Unfortunately, that did not happen. About 2 days later, it arrived back in Wisconsin. And then literally just a few hours later, it says delivered in/at mailbox, and then it says my address. And I was like, what the fuck? How could the package go from Wisconsin to where I am in New York in just the matter of a few hours? I thought that was very weird, but I was like, okay, maybe the tracking fucked up. And the no such number thing was an error on USPS's part. And they realized their error, and they finally delivered my package. I go outside, check the mailbox, and no. Fucking blue-balled. So then I contact the seller asking if they received the item, and they didn't. So what in the fuck was that tracking update saying it delivered in my mailbox just a few hours after the package arrived back in Wisconsin? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I tried reaching out to USPS, I got no help whatsoever. In fact, there was this one lady I was talking to on the phone. She was rude as fuck towards me, so I just hung up because I didn't want to fucking deal with her anymore. Me and the seller tried to figure out for like a week what the fuck happened to this package, to no avail. As of me recording this on October 23rd, nearly 20 days since the tracking information said it was delivered in my mailbox here in New York, despite it just a few hours earlier saying it was in Wisconsin, I still don't know where this fucking package is. So thank you, USPS. Fucking thank you. I found a game that I really wanted that is usually expensive as fuck for a reasonable price, and you fucking lose the package. Thank God the seller was understanding and nothing but cooperative. I even got a refund from them recently. So now I'm back on the hunt for Code Veronica on the GameCube. Maybe someone out there will sell the game with both discs included for a similarly reasonable price, but I highly doubt it. I think my best bet is buying both discs individually, because disc 1 and disc 2 on their own aren't that expensive, so I might just have to do that. So here's also a big fuck you to Nintendo for fucking up in this regard, making the GameCube disc so fucking tiny to the point where certain games couldn't even fit on one disc. As you all know by this point, the GameCube is my favorite game console of all time, but Jesus, that is one of the very few things I really don't like about it. But anyways, this was the only time I ever had a bad experience buying on eBay. For the past 2 years, I've bought 90% of my games on eBay. A majority of the GameCube games I bought since I started collecting 2 years ago were bought on eBay. And I've even gotten some of my PlayStation games on eBay. Up until this point, shopping on eBay has been nothing but pleasant. And up until this point, all of the items I've bought off eBay delivered to me just fine. So I know the address attached to my account is 100% correct because I've been using it for the past 2 years, and only this one time I've had this issue. So let me say it once again because I can't say it enough. Fuck you, USPS. And I know what some people who are watching this might be thinking. Well, this is just some stupid game. It's not like it's the end of the world. I know, a game that I bought getting lost in the mail is, in the grand scheme of things, a trivial issue. But what if this is actually something important, like, say, medication? My uncle has diabetes. He gets a lot of his blood pressure medication delivered to him via USPS. What if this shit happened to him? Oh, sorry, we lost your package, comprised of important medication that you have to take. You're shit out of luck. Okay, I'll say it for the last time for real now. Fuck the USPS. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.